What's going on, everybody? It's Electrocuted, and I know that you've missed me. I've missed you guys too. I'm giving you a little video tonight because I want you to see what I've been up to, just so you don't think that, you know, he doesn't care about us, fucking playing with G.I. Joes and shit. So I'm gonna hit you guys up with everything I've been doing, so that you have a good idea of how much work has gone into this. I swear to God, I have pulled 2 all-nighters where I've gone like a day without sleeping in the last like 3 or 4 days. I'm not running on a lot of fumes, but I keep going because I honestly really want to get this done. Reason being, just in case you're wondering, like, why doesn't he just do this in piecemeal, etc. A lot of big games coming out, guys. Red Dead's coming, Battlefield not long after. We got The Last of Us. There's a shit ton of really big titles, and I want to be ready to go. I want to compete. And I'm just tired of like having all these aspirations for the stream and not, you know, doing anything about it. So this is what this is. I've had to make a lot of changes. I'm going to go over that real quick. I'll talk about it on stream, I'm sure. But I have gone back and forth between OBS and slobs at least 5 times this weekend, finding out the limitations and you know, what won't work for me and what I can make work elsewhere. I've decided on OBS. I've stuck with OBS for a lot of reasons, actually. Honestly, I don't think there's like another user that knows more about the 2 programs than me. I've gone through hell and back with both. OBS or slobs just fall short on everything I need it to be. If you want a plug and play broadcast tool, sure, slob's great. But if you actually want to be custom and take your game to another level and not just use other people's shit, slobs falls apart. So OBS today's so much fucking headache. I've had to even reinstall Windows a couple times just because things got screwed up. But and of course that's fun. But anyway, this is the start screen. I've had to modify it. You won't even notice. Even just sitting here right now, I've had to rework the logo a little bit. You probably won't notice. I've had to change some stuff about the eyes. There was an area where when I drew my first logo, it was way too elongated. I wanted obviously a more like roundish logo. So I wound up cutting everything below the nose and rebuilding it. I didn't even realize, having been so close to it, that you could, it was a drastic, it's not even like a little minor thing I missed and no one said anything, where like the jaw on the right side of the face on this screen didn't line up with the jaw coming from the bottom of the ear. So just a bunch of stuff there, cleaned everything up. I'm going to stick without the lightning. I'm just going to keep it clean like it is. But this is now what's going on. So that's done. I've made my own custom icons for the stream deck, which I'm pretty proud of. It looks pretty sick. As I add new scenes, I'll be making new ones of those, but it's color coordinated to the logo itself too, so it looks pretty slick. I went out and got a USB switch, a 4-point USB switch, or 4-port, sorry. So that now is up and running. So which that means is I have my keyboard and mouse now connected to both computers at the same time. I just have to hit a button and it'll go back and forth instantly, and that's all color coordinated on the devices, which is kind of nice for me, not having to go back and forth and move around. So that's another thing that I've done hardware wise. Now let's get into it. So this is what you're going to see for the first couple minutes, and this is bound to change now that I'm getting a little bit better at After Effects and Illustrator. But this is how I'm going to roll for right now, because I don't want to spend a ton of time off screen. And this is, you only see this for the first 5 minutes, and hardly anyone shows up for the first 5 minutes. So from here we can head into, and keep in mind not every scene is going to be done. But you're going to see the transition that I've made for now. I've installed an add-on to OBS, which will allow me to add more transitions eventually, which I would imagine will come quickly. But this is our first transition coming up, going into, actually, let's go to the conversation screen. So there's your transition. And this is the camera that, this is the conversation screen that I'm going to roll with for now. Again, I'm going to be animating elements of this. And working with the camera, moving the camera around till I get to a point where I'm pretty happy with it. And as you can see, I don't give a shit what I look like right now. Hoodieing it up and wearing a friggin' toque in my house because it's cold. But so this is the new conversation screen. I'm gonna just shut me off for a second here. And as you can see also, I just realized the overlay I've reworked. New font down here. and then I found it far more readable online, and then I've added the logo into the overlay as opposed to having the old one. It's still translucent, as you can probably notice if you look at it, but let's stay on that for a second then. So I'm going to show you guys how this all works at the bottom. Let me jump over to the other computer here. So these are tests, right? These are just test alerts. Let me come back on the camera. Actually, now that I think about it, there I am. How handsome am I? All right, so keeping in mind all this down here is all that's going to change right now. The alerts I'll show you right after. But if we get a follow, oh, I should send that to the live overlay. I'm tired, forgive me. So when we get a follower, they'll roll in like that. Biddy, the biddy and sub should just nicely slide in, and then biggest D, boosh, like that. Now they're set up from here on out to be per stream. So you can notice I've got it all color coordinated to the logo, but they are set up though for per stream basis. I'm not gonna have stuff like, you know, donations for 2 months, like the biggest D. Captain Caper donated honestly like 2 months ago, and he's still there. So I'm gonna do it per stream from now on, and we'll just be embarrassed of ourselves if it just stays blank for always. Anyway, so that's how that's gonna look. And since we're just chilling now, I guess I'll hit you with some real heat. So I am working on these. Okay, I need you to understand these are works in progress. The first one I'm going to show you for absolute sure is a work in progress. It's the first one I did. It's not going to remain like this in terms of how big it is. Okay, I'm working kind of with learning how to animate things. But I'm hoping that this is somewhat impressive to you and you can kind of get the direction of where I'm going. I just need to get sizes and positioning down. But here we go. This is what a follow is going to look like from here on out. Sort of. I made that. That's my face. Anyway, I made that. So I'm going to work with it. It's not obviously going to take up the whole goddamn screen every time someone follows, but that's what I'm going for. I'll hit you with it one more time. So I'm using WebM stuff from, I get those. I make the effect in After Effects, Adobe After Effects, and then I use a technology called WebM. It's a little bit better than a GIF. So those ones there are running in 1920, so I can use them later on. I don't want to have to fucking redo all of this. So those are new. I'm going to use that. It's actually a new, if you're familiar with the stream, that's a new follow sound. I've gotten rid of the other one. It was too short for what we were using it for there. So yeah, that's that. So when a follow or a sub or whatever comes through, both the thing down here, the camera's all fucky. Okay, so this, etc. would change. Usually it takes about 30 seconds to a minute to update because everything is coming from the cloud. You guys have no idea how much shit I've had to go through to get this working like this. I feel like I could like hold seminars right now for people to like finally see what like these programs are actually capable of doing. And I had to go through hell and test and think I had a solution and then have it fall flat on my face. So I'm going to switch scenes up real quick here. Let's head on over to the game screen. I'm pretty happy with that transition, I got to be honest. So the Elgato's off right now, but that's fine. So the game screen is going to be pretty typical for what I've had it to be right now. I'm going to add some stuff that might fade in and out over time that's animated, but I want to hit you with the new sub alert, which I just finished. I literally just finished, and I haven't had a chance to really test this out too much, but let's check it out. Ready for it?
This is a test.
So it's got the speech and everything hooked up to it. I've got to modify the voice and whatever. The things going across the middle of the screen coming from Streamlabs, I need to modify. I haven't bothered with that too much yet. But the alert, I just made that. I think that's running at about 50 frames a second. It's really hard because there's no set numbers, but I'm trying to figure out what the maximum amount of megabytes I'm allowed. 30 won't work, but about 27 will. I'm trying to get the absolute most quality. but I'm running into issues because like sometimes I'm having to sacrifice either time, size, or quality, and you guys don't care, but that's what I go through right now. So let's hit you with it one more time.
This is a test.
So, yeah, this is a test. So, damn it, I wish I could just press that button and get sub money. It'd be so good. You'd be insane. It'd be insane what I could hit you with at that point. I'd never sleep. I'd just hit that button until the end of time. All right, so what else we got? So far, those are the scenes I've built. And then there is the conversation screen, which we were just at, which I'm gonna spice this up. It's not gonna finish looking like this, but this is kind of the background and the gist of it, how it's gonna be. And then the break scenes, which I am still working on, but I wanted to give you an idea of what that's gonna look like when we go into break. It's gonna have, and I've got to work on this now that I know how it's gonna look. I've got a whole bunch of moving of things to make it look pretty. But it's going to cycle through scenes, or not scenes, but actual images and stuff for 15 seconds at a time while I'm gone. And I'm going to fill those out with information and blah, blah, blah. It'll be fun so that you don't have to just sit there. But running those videos all the time is a hell of a lot of memory. And I'd rather have the stream in a higher quality than not. So those are the 3 images I've just thrown up there as a test. But they seem to work pretty well for what I'm looking for. So, again, every scene, what I have to work on now, it doesn't come stock, but I'm working on something to have multiple transitions. I'm going to fade those in. Every single alert, this is the fun part. Every single alert like this here, what I want to do is have variations of them. So it's not the same, you'll get bored of seeing that every single time. What I want to do is move them around. Fuck off, buddy. I want to have like 3 subs, like maybe 4 or 5 alerts for follows. But it takes a lot of time. That one there probably took me about an hour. The one before it probably took me about 2. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. I just want you guys to know that I'm not like fucking around. I'm working like a madman over here, buying stuff, trying to get this working. So I'm pretty happy with a lot of stuff that I've also done in the background software wise. I now have music running on its own audio channel with a little bit of a timer on it, a desync. One of the issues that I was running into is if, and I haven't done this a lot, but if I tried to sing along with the song, I was at least a good half to maybe 3/4 of a second behind on the song. Now I can I'm in sync. When I hear the song and maybe say it out of my mouth, it's exactly the same beat you're hearing the song. So that's a lot better. That took me a little while to figure out, but that's all set up now. I was singing Johnny Cash Hurt, and who was the other one? Kenny Rogers, The Gambler, just having a good old time earlier. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm up to. I'm not streaming because whatever. I just want you guys to know that I'm hoping that you'll appreciate what I've been doing. And I hope that I can get as much done as possible. I really, really, really wanted to be on stream tonight, but I got going on something else, and I was like, I got to get this done. So everything in the back end, though, is set up. I've got things like voice meter done. The chat bot's all set up. The stream set up. I've been running it on a separate key, not my own stream key, but another stream key. So I know that the video quality and the sound and everything is all ready to go. I might have a few minor tweaks, but when I'm ready the next time to just say, yeah, like, fuck it, I'm just gonna stream, that's what I'm gonna be doing. But in the meantime, if I'm not here and I'm not sleeping, I promise you I'm working on all this garbage. So I hope you guys had a great weekend, and really, really looking forward to Red Dead this week. The other thing, though, is I've got a ton of Halloween packs to open up. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow. So if you're hanging out and you see me come online tomorrow, you're gonna want to be there to see what I might potentially, probably not though, get out of those packs. That's it, guys. If you have any comments though, leave them here in Discord. I'm posting this link here for you guys. I hope you get a chance to watch it. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Man, I don't know how to press my own buttons because I'm not on this computer. There we go. Take care, guys.